Welcome back, Towners. Today we're going to do a meal prep. Let's get it. Alright guys, to start off this recipe here, we have two whole chickens. I was asked to do some meal preps for a client to basically cook some meals for them for the week. And this video is basically what we cook for them. We have two whole chickens here that we injected all over with some Tony Chachere's jalapeno butter marinade. We just injected this all over the breast and thighs. Then we pulled out our Cooking with the Thatown2 all-purpose no salt seasoning and just hit this bird up and seasoned it all over, top and bottom, inside the cavity. Try to get underneath the skin just to get seasoning all over everywhere on the chickens. This is what they look like after we finished seasoning them up. We went ahead and sat this to the side while we went and prepped everything else. Here we're going to start off with some of our jerk seasoning as well as our barbecue rub, and we're going to work on some pork chops. These are this is a family pack of pork chops. There were about 6 pork chops in the package. They were about a 1/4 inch thick. We went ahead and mixed both of those seasonings together and just went ahead and just sprinkled this liberally all over the pork chops to get a nice good rub, good seasoning everywhere. I should have used a bigger bowl, but this was this is the first bowl that I pulled out of the pantry, so I just went ahead and worked with that. But went ahead and just rubbed the seasoning in all over the pork chops everywhere that we could on all sides. We didn't have to use any olive oil or anything to get the seasoning to stick. They had a nice amount of fat on these pork chops, so we went ahead and used that as our coating, and we went ahead and air fried those. Now we have a large bowl here, and we're going to make some cauliflower mac and cheese. We have about 48 ounces of cauliflower, and we went ahead and steamed it in the microwave. The package recommendations advise for about 5 to 6 minutes in the microwave, but we put them all in at the same time. If I'd have did them individually, it would have been 5 minutes per pack, but it took us maybe about 10 to 12 minutes or so to steam all this cauliflower all at one time. But once it came out, we did it to about fork tender, a little bit before fork tender. We didn't want to cook it all the way through because we'll still have to cook this in the oven and everything, so we got it halfway done. We then went ahead and hit it up with some softened cream cheese as well as some sour cream, and then poured in some melted butter. Also poured in some heavy whipping cream, and then brought in our seasonings, some kosher salt and some black pepper. And then we hit it up with some onion powder as well as some garlic powder and some chili powder as well as some paprika. Then we squirted in a little bit of yellow mustard. If you have dry mustard, you can definitely use that. I went ahead and went with some yellow mustard this time. Then we added in our cheeses, a mixture of some mozzarella and cheddar cheese, and just got to mix everything up to fully combine and incorporate the cheeses as well with all of the seasonings. The cream cheese was softened on this already, so it was very easy to mix and stir everything all together. We then took an aluminum baking pan, sprayed it with some cooking spray, some olive oil cooking spray, and poured our cauliflower mac and cheese into our pan, and used our wooden spoon to basically just smooth everything out, get it nice smooth in all edges, so that way it'll melt properly and evenly, not to have any big lumps or anywhere in any specific spots of the macaroni and cheese. Once we had it all evened out and well combined, we went ahead and topped it off with some additional mozzarella cheese and cheddar cheese, and just got that in all the little corners, that way that once it cooks up, the cheese topping will be all over and none of the cauliflower will be exposed. And this is everything that we had the night. So we basically prepped this the night before, the chickens, the pork chops, and the macaroni and cheese. Here's what our chicken looked like for the next day when we were ready to cook it. Here's the mac and cheese and our pork chops. And we went ahead and popped all those in the oven. And while they were in the oven, besides the besides the pork chops, we put those in the air fryer. But we started to work on our asparagus while the chicken and macaroni and cheese were cooking. We took the asparagus. These are some jumbo asparagus. We cut off about a ½ inch off the stems of it and placed them into a roasting pan. And after we cut the stems off, we went ahead and hit it and washed the asparagus off just to clean off any dirt or anything on it, and then put them in the roasting pan. Poured over some olive oil over top of that, and then hit it with some kosher salt, some black pepper, some onion powder, some garlic powder, some lemon pepper seasoning, and some Italian seasoning. Then we took our tongs and just mixed everything up to get the seasoning to coat all over the asparagus, as well as the olive oil to help everything stick. And then we went ahead and popped that in the oven at 350, and we cooked that for about 20 minutes to get that done. And while that was in the oven, we went ahead and got 2 more bunches of asparagus. This was a small, basically regular size asparagus, not the jumbo. Same thing, cut off about a 1/4 inch to a ½ inch off the ends of the asparagus. Again, you can do the bend test and just see where 1 or 2 of them bends at, and that's where you know where the best place to cut it is. Everything below that portion will be a little woody and stringy, so you want to get rid of that. After we cleaned off the asparagus, we went ahead and added some butter into our pan, about a ½ stick of butter. Put all of our asparagus into the skillet. This was our big, large 15-ounce skillet, so we can hold all the asparagus. Then we hit it up with some salt and pepper, as well as some stevia sugar substitute. And then we also added in some golden monk fruit sweetener, and just went ahead and just sauteed all this asparagus. We had this over about a medium high heat. We didn't want the butter to burn anywhere. We cooked this for about 7 minutes or so, and then the asparagus was done. Once it was done, we removed that from the pan and poured all the butter sauce over top of it. And here we are air frying those pork chops. This was the last 2 pork chops that we had. We went in and took our tongs and tried to position these to fit at the bottom of our air fryer. Didn't want to stick my hands in there because I figured we had already cooked the other previous 4 pork chops and it was super hot inside of there. So went ahead and put these in, cooked these last 2 pork chops up. We cooked these pork chops anywhere from about 14 to 18 minutes, depending on the thickness of these. I just had the air fryer running. It was at a 390 and on air fry mode, and basically flipped them at the halfway point. With this one, it had about 18 minutes left on the timer. We flipped it at the 8-minute mark, and so that went for about 10 minutes before we flipped them over, and then we took them out with about a minute to go. So these cooked for about a total of 16 minutes. This is how our pork chops look after they came out. Now this was everything that we cooked up. Here we are with the asparagus. This is 2 types of asparagus. On the left we have a regular size asparagus, which was we did the sweet butter asparagus on that one, and on the right is a jumbo asparagus. We did it regular with just salt, pepper, onion powder, lemon pepper, and Italian seasoning. Here we are with our pork chops. It was a family size pack of pork chops that we air fried, and we hit this up again with our jerk seasoning as well as a barbecue seasoning mixture, and that gave a nice flavor, nice texture. You see nice color on the pork chops from cooking them in the air fryer. Nice, quick and easy, healthy, no additional oils or anything, all cooked in its own juices, so it didn't have to sit in any fat or butter or anything, or not saying butter's bad, but any oil or anything cooking, just cooked in its natural juices. And these came out very well. Nice seasoning, nice coating, everything on it. Also, we have our macaroni and cheese, and here's our macaroni and cheese, cauliflower mac and cheese, I'm sorry. And we've done this a couple of times on the channel, and this always comes out great. Very, 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 very nice dish. You can make this in bulk for a lot of people. The creaminess of this as well, the sour cream mixed with the cream cheese and all the cheese that we added to it, a little bit of butter, seasoned well with some salt and pepper, came out great. Here are the 2 roasted chickens that we had. Now we cooked everything in the oven, the chickens, the macaroni and cheese, and the asparagus. We cooked it all at 350. We want to cook everything at an even temperature because something's made of wanted to cook higher or lower, but we just put everything in at the same time at 350. These cooked for about an hour in the oven. We basically pulled them out of the oven once they hit 160. We turned the broiler up on high to brown the tops, because we had everything in the oven at the same time, the asparagus, the mac and cheese, and this, so it didn't get enough browning on it because it was covered by the other dishes. If they would have been cooked at the oven by themselves, they would have been fine. I got no brown color on them. But once the asparagus and the mac and cheese was done, we just turned the broiler on to brown the top for about a good 2 to 3 minutes once it hit 160, and then let the carryover heat get up to 165 with our internal probe thermometer. And this is everything that we cooked. Here's our asparagus. Both of the asparaguses wrapped in with some wax paper separating the two. Mac and cheese, our pork chops, and that's it. Now I was asked by a family member to do the meal prep, and at first I was against it. I've been asked a few times actually, but I was like, no, I'm cool. I'm just gonna make the dishes and put them on the channel. But just for the fact that when someone commissions you or pays you to cook food, it's different. If someone comes to your house to eat and you cook for them, it's different. But when someone pays you for it, if someone complains about it or say they don't like this or don't like that, what are you supposed to do about that? How do you handle that? And that was one of the things that I was like a little iffy about. Like, what do I do if someone doesn't like it after they already cooked it and everything? But it went well. Got good reviews back from the food that was cooked. Everything was keto friendly, things that I would normally eat in my household, and just trying to keep everything low carb, simple, and sugar free and healthy. Once I went ahead and agreed to do the meal prep, we just talked about it and figure out what we needed to make. They advised that they wanted me to cook for enough food for 6 people, and this amount was enough for basically 12 meals. So basically for each person to eat twice. We just got together and talked about what things they wanted to eat. Again, keeping everything keto friendly. So we just went through the channel and went over some ideas. It's like, hey, I like this, I like that, and so we just came up with a menu, and this was the end result. And this is what we made. But there may be more of these to come. Who knows? We'll see. But hope you guys like this video. If anyone has any comments or questions, please feel free to hit us out. In the comment sections, I always try to answer everyone's questions and get back to everyone as quickly as possible. But again, as always, guys, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy.
Enjoy. And please subscribe. Enjoy.
Hey, Towners. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. All ingredients and directions are listed in the description box below each video. And as always, thank you guys for watching.